Where's Wally Lamont? Has anyone heard from him? He's the mate of Fisheries Minister Tim Whetstone, who picked him to sit on one of the most important reform committees directly impacting recreational fishing in this state, the Commercial Marine Scale Fish Reform Advisory Committee. They've already had 2 meetings, with a third set down for later this month. And not a peep from a man who is supposed to put the recreational fishing case to this committee. A reform proposal is expected to be delivered to Whetstone in October, and according to the committee minutes, will contain some massive recommendations that directly impact recreational fishing and regional communities. Remember, Whetstone said his new MARFAC would involve itself with big picture items? Well, nothing is bigger than what is being discussed as part of the MSF reform process. Does Whetstone want the MARFAC at these meetings? I guess not. I think he's happy with his man Wally's involvement, although we don't know what that actually is. The Minister's terms of reference for the committee has been finalised after he amended it to ensure that it focused on addressing the practicality of an individual transferable catch quota, ITQ system. So the Minister has already had a hand in the pie. ITQs will be looked at for Tier 1 species such as King George whiting, snapper, garfish and calamari. Remember Whetstone's continual cry for recreational fishers to target secondary species such as ocean jackets. Yep, we all know he got that wrong, as ocean jackets can be caught off the continental shelf in 200 metres of water. Very safe for mum, dad and the kids in the tinny. The committee now knows Whetstone wants ITQs, so it has told him it was by consensus, and that includes good old Wally, that effective management of marine scale fish stocks and protection of any rights-based regime in the commercial catch sector will be dependent on more accurate assessment and management of the recreational sector catch. Herein lies a big warning to RecFishos. Let's have a look at what ITQs actually mean and the results of such big end-of-town management processes. The regulator, in this case PIRSA, sets a total allowable catch, a TAC, typically by weight, with a dedicated portion of the TAC called quota shares being allocated to individuals. Quotas can typically be bought, sold and leased, a feature called transferability. ITQs are typically initially allocated as grants according to the recent catch history of the fishery. Those with bigger catches are generally allocated larger quotas. The primary drawback is that individuals receive a valuable right to a public resource at no cost. ITQs can be resold to those who want to increase their presence in the fishery. Another issue with tradability is that large enterprises may buy all the quota, ending what may be a centuries-long tradition of small-scale operations. ITQs may have the effect of changing the criteria that fishermen apply to their catch, such as high grading, which involves catching more fish than the quota allows and dumping specimens that are less valuable because of size, age or other criteria. Many of the discarded fish are already dead or quickly die, increasing fishing's reduction of stocks. ITQs are usually initiated through the de facto privatisation of an otherwise public resource, the fisheries. Initial recipients of quota receive windfall profits through the gifting of share ownership, while all future entrants are forced to purchase or lease the right to harvest fish. Virtually every ITQ program in existence around the world results in substantial consolidation of quota. For example, it is estimated that 8 companies control 80% of New Zealand's fisheries through quota acquisition. 4 companies control 77% of one Alaska crab fishery, and 7% of shareholders control 60% of the US Gulf red snapper quota. The consolidation results in job loss, reduced wages and decreased entry opportunities into the fishery. A major 1996 international report on the effects of ITQs on Icelandic coastal communities and echoed worldwide showed that the transition to ITQ management tends to cause considerable economic harm to coastal communities that are dependent on commercial fisheries. Although ITQ management systems are designed to enhance the economic performance of the fishing industry, this usually comes at the cost of coastal communities whose economies rely principally on their fishing fleet. I wonder if Whetstone understands the true cost of ITQs on this state's small commercial fishing families and regional communities. There's a lot more being discussed behind closed doors that we're not aware of, such as unitisation, dormant licence buybacks, Tier 1, 2 and 3 species, and regional borders. We must be very aware that the big end of town is driving this process and we don't have a say at the table. Oh no, that's right, we've got Wally.